Hey guys, EJ and TC here, bringing you up to date on the candidates for tonight's debate on what we think. Well, we decided we're going to start off with Obama, being he's the current president. So let's get right on and jump on into it so we can hit our time frame here.
Alright, starting with Obama, we're going to be looking more towards right now the economy-wise with like the budget, the deficit, and the taxes. We're going to focus, he wants to focus on the stimulus package that he's already proclaimed to us. Another thing is the, more or less, how he is trying to expand and broaden technology with us, and he's looking more or less into the future than he is nowadays, but a lot of his policies are stating for not us, but his kids and his grandkids. Stuff that he's looking more into the future with. He wants to broaden jobs, but increase taxes on our part.
Yeah, when we're sitting here looking at it, we're using our site that we used here was infoplease.com/US government/presidential campaign 2012. Looking at it, he's sitting there talking about how some of his cleaner, more efficient energy, he wants to utilize those, but we won't have the full effect until about 2050. So meaning our kids are the ones that are going to be beneficial from it, not us right now as a whole society for the moment. You know, it's one of those things where he wants to create some 3.5 million jobs, but we're not going to hit that number until probably 2025. He won't even be president, and who knows what's going to be brought out from other presidents coming up after him.
Looking at it, he's like stating to better us, we have to better the future, but how can you better the future without bettering tomorrow? We need to be looking more towards what's going on today in our time and what's going to occur tomorrow with all these wars going on. He's also stating that the war, all of our troops will be pulling out of Afghanistan in 2014. But see, how can you pull out troops from Afghanistan but still have all the Iranian conflict that we are going on right now with all the nuclear weapons and everything like that?
Yeah, looking at it, he's trying to use the old Pakistan borders of 1967. Let me just double check on that real quick. Yeah, then called for a two-state solution that should start with Israel's, my bad, not Pakistan, pardon me, of 1967 borders with mutually agreed upon land swaps as a guide to the formation of a Palestine state. Basically stating that if we pull out right now, we won't be able to accomplish that. Well, that's what he wants to do anyways, and that's not going to work, especially with the current jihadists and terrorists that we have. Yes, they're not as bad as they were, because we have taken out most of their key players, but when it comes to Iran, Israel, and stuff like that, he's basically stating that he just wants to push them to the side and tell them, here, you guys can do this and get away with this, but once you start, as Obama states, he says the U.S. will not allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons. So as soon as I started delving into that, we get pushed into another conflict.
Another thing we need to be looking at is, yes, there is the war in the Middle East that we are trying to pull out of, but still, I've been doing my own little research, and there's a lot going on with China. All of our debt we have consolidated over time with China is causing us to have conflict with them. Now, will China ever attack us? Who knows? But still the statement of, we got to be ready to go. And Obama is actually cutting our military to where we are just there. You know, we have always been known as a superpower with our strong military. How can you cut us with that? I mean, the military offers a lot of jobs and a lot of benefits to a lot of people who don't know if they want to go to college or not. And that also brings up his other standpoint of he wants to bring up Pell Grants and start marking that up. Well, that's going to bring a big tax increase on all of us. But see, if we cut the military, then we can't send kids through the military and get them a GI Bill, which will basically state the whole progress of these Pell Grants he is trying to install with us.
Yeah, looking at it, you know, being that you bring up the troops and the stationing of them all, you know, we got to look at it like this. You know, China will probably never attack just because we owe them so much money, and the two superpowers like that would never really have a good conflict. Obviously not, because it's war, conflict, etc. You know, but stating that, they'll never go to war with us because of how much money and everything that they produce for us. We will fight left and right to prevent that from happening. But if we start downsizing our military, other countries such as Iran that are gaining these nuclear powers, you know,
We'll see a chance to actually come in and attack because we are open. Now, what's going on with our military is kind of not really open to a lot of us because a lot what's being stated out there in the news and everything like that is actually false. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know nothing about, but we will never know nothing about. It's there and it's occurring, but still to the standpoint, that's something we got to be looking forward to as we are going to vote for candidates. It's not more or less the whole as he's cutting jobs or he's doing this, he's doing that. We got to look for the future also, but to a standpoint and still keep realistically for tomorrow. It's kind of hard to do when you put all that into perspective and say, you know, I want a better tomorrow, but, you know, go down 29 years down the road also and say this is what we want to do also.
Yeah, I mean, seriously though, because the only way we can actually fix our country right now, looking at it from the standpoint, is by with the candidates if they sit there and they're not looking forward to tomorrow. Like, going into that, Mitt Romney. He's looking into removing Obamacare, you know, which everybody knows cut a lot of jobs due to people that are only working part-time and the company's not giving them their 40 hours a week because they don't have insurance and they're only working part-time and letting them go, which cut a lot of jobs. Trevor here, perfect prime example, working for 84 Lumber, his job was cut because of Obamacare and the company did not want to give him the insurance.
Not really cut, but hourly cuts. Because when you stand on the standpoint of Obamacare, it states the policy is that if you work at a company getting more than 40 hours a week, they're supposed to pay you medical. It's more than, it has to be more than, it's 2 weeks continuously to get the benefits. But still stating, if you're a guy who's taking care of kids, like your children, and you get the standpoint of this Obamacare into play, and you only have a part-time job, you're getting your hours cut. And when you get to a second job where you have to go to because to make more money, you're getting more hours cut there also. Also, your taxes will increase because you have 2 jobs and all your kids you have. Basic standpoint, Obamacare is destroying our system.
Yeah, and looking over here at Governor Romney, Mitt Romney, he's saying that it's the way Obama's working basically with the Obamacare and everything like that is moving more towards a socialist agenda, basically stating that the government should be taking care of everybody as a whole, but not worrying about the states themselves and some slight separation, which will bring about a more stimulated economy because everybody has their own viewpoints and their ways of doing things, and if everyone's supposed to take care of everybody, there's a lack of growth right there.
Romney is also stating that people who make under $200,000 a year, he's trying to cut the taxes taken out on them, which is actually a good thing to state because the middle class has been hitting hard in the last 12 years, even probably 20 years because of all this that's been going on. There's a lot of war that is called conflicts. The conflict that's been going on in the Middle East has been going on way before all of us. It's been going on for a while. People don't seem to realize that yes, war helps, but it also kind of hurts. But to the standpoint, war brings in jobs, it brings in opportunities for other people. We need to realize what's going on and continue on with this.
Yeah, that's why Mitt Romney here states that he also believes that the military should not be faced with so many cuts. We need to expand our military for multiple reasons. One of them is immigration. He believes that employers that are employing illegal immigrants should be fined for it. You know, we need to also be watching the borders, you know, to reduce the amount of immigrants that are flowing in.
And one thing Obama is doing with his immigration laws is he's actually stating that he's trying to bring in an immigration policy. There's already an immigration policy standard out there, but no one wants to enforce it.
Yeah,
what is going on is he's also stating that he's going to bring a way to keep families together who are immigrated, to bring in a way to skip the whole process of becoming a legal immigrant and kind of helping them out more, which if you do that, it still hurts our economy.
Yeah, what he's basically saying, Obama's thing on immigration is basically, he's stating that we need to add just infrastructure and technology to the borders, which isn't really going to help that much. He wants to create a legal immigration system, as Trevor stated, you know, we already have that legal immigration system. You know, we just need enforcers to it. And I think this is a good point to stop right now because our time limit's cutting short. We'll probably jump back in this in a next video. I'm going to talk to you guys then and see you on the side, and we'll continue this debate in a little bit.